In this video, we will be going over the lesson, which is on adding and subtracting polynomials. This is the review question in the very beginning before we get started. So go ahead and pause the video and make sure you can find the perimeter of the rectangle on your own. And here we go. So this is just keeping in mind that finding the perimeter, adding up all of the sides. And with a rectangle, opposite sides are always congruent. So if this side here is 12a, then the side opposite is 12a. Then same thing here. If this side here is 7b, then the side opposite is congruent, which is also 7b. Then of course, just making sure you combine like terms. So like here, we have 12a plus 12a, which is 24a. Then here you have 7b plus 7b, which is 14b. Then of course we leave it as is because these two terms are not like terms because they have different variables, 24a and 14b. So again, keeping in mind now working with our polynomials and combining like terms is what we're working on today. But then also make sure that when you write your answer that it is in standard form. So for example here, with this polynomial, we need to make sure that this is in standard form, meaning the terms are in descending order by degree. So we're starting with our highest exponent and then going down. So degree is another word for exponent. So like here, the first term would be 4x cubed because this term here has the highest exponent. Then minus x squared, then plus 2x, and last minus 5. So making sure that your final answer is always written in standard form. We've reviewed with our adding and subtracting, but again, let's just make sure that we're good to go. So in the first example here, it says, what is the sum? Meaning we are adding these two together. So we are adding x cubed plus 5x squared minus 7 plus 5x cubed minus 3x squared plus 2x minus 1. Then just going through and combining like terms. So here we have x cubed plus 5x cubed, which is now 6x cubed, right? Because remember, we have that coefficient of 1 here. Then now we have 5x squared minus 3x squared, which is now positive 2x squared. Now we do have an x term here, but do we have anything else to combine it with? No. So just bring down 2x and then last combine the constants of -7 and -1, leaving you with -8. Go ahead and pause the video and do this you try one here on your own before we begin the second example. And here we go. So again, just making sure that you combine like terms. Now, here is x to the fourth. Is there any other term? No. So we bring that down, -3x to the fourth. Now I notice we have an x cubed term here. Is there anything else to combine that term with? No. So bring that down as well. Then x squared. I have x squared minus 5x squared, which is now -4x squared. Because again, here that is a positive 1. So 1 minus 5, -4. Then now we're left with our constants of -10 plus 15, which is 5. Now in example 2. Notice a little different because of subtracting. So we have to remember the goal is to always combine. So we want to combine with the 6x squared plus 11x minus 14. Well, how do we do that? We'll treat this negative as this is a -1 and distribute that -1 here. So now here we're going to combine -4x squared plus 9x minus 1. Then go through and combine like terms. 6x squared minus 4x squared, which is 2x squared. Then here you have 11x plus 9x, which is now 20x. Then last here we have -14 minus 1, which is now -15. Go ahead and pause the video now and do this you try here on your own. And here we go. So again, always look at the operation, right? We have subtraction, so we need to distribute that -1 here. So now here we're going to combine with the negative 3x to the fourth plus x squared minus 10, negative 2x cubed plus 5x squared minus 15. Because again, changing the sign, we're distributing and multiplying every term by -1. So now we just combine like terms. However, can we combine anything with that x to the fourth? No, so bringing it down. Negative 3x to the fourth. Can we combine anything with the negative 2x cubed? No, so bring that down. Now we can combine x squared plus 5x squared, which is now 6x squared. Then last, negative 10 minus 15, negative 25. So notice you could go either way with solving. So I kept it here horizontal, or you could line up vertical. Just make sure to combine like terms. So now let's get into the application with our geometry. So notice how here is a model of a house. What is the perimeter in feet? So notice perimeter, what are we doing? We're adding up all of the sides on the outside, right? We don't need this side on the inside. We're just focusing perimeter, which is on the outside. So if this value here is 6x minus 4, notice that out only has one hash mark, and this side of the triangle only has one hash mark, which means this side is also 6x minus 4. So we are taking that 6x minus 4 and doubling it. Also notice this side here has two hash marks of 12x plus 3. That means the other side here is also 12x plus 3. So we are also taking that 12x plus 3 and doubling it. Then last, we are combining 14x plus 13. So notice we are adding up these 5 sides to find the perimeter. So we can go ahead and, of course, distribute. So what we're going to combine here is 12x minus 8, right, from distributing our 2 here. Then again, distribute that positive 2 here, doubling. So now plus 24x, but now plus 6. Then just bringing down, plus 14x plus 13. Now we can just go through and combine like terms. Here we have our x terms, which all combined together will get you 50x. Then combine the constant. So negative 8 plus 6 plus 13, which gives you plus 8. So this is the perimeter that represents the model of this house. So go ahead and pause the video now and do the U-try here on your own. And here we go. So notice again, you're finding the perimeter of the trapezoid. Perimeter, adding up all 4 sides. Notice how here we do have this one hash mark that represents this polynomial. And this side here also has this hash mark, which means they are congruent. So we are going to double the 3x squared plus 2x plus 1. So we are combining 4x cubed plus 3x minus 2 plus we're going to double the 3x squared plus 2x plus 1. Then add our last and final side, 4x plus 3. So before we can get started, right, let's go ahead and make sure to double. So here I've got 4x cubed plus 3x minus 2, but now plus 6x squared plus 4x plus 2, right? From distributing, multiplying every term by 2. Then again, continuing to bring down 4x plus 3. Now we can go through and combine like terms. Notice there is nothing like term with the 4x cubed, so you should have brought that down. There is also nothing with 6x squared, so you should have brought down 6x squared. Now we do have 3x plus 4x plus another 4x, which now gets you 11x. And last, combine the constant. So negative 2 plus 2 plus 3, which gets you plus 3. Now let's take a look at our last example here. You're given a garden that is in the shape of a trapezoid, and each side is represented the polynomials. Now, if the perimeter of the garden is represented by this polynomial, so now notice that this is the perimeter. So this is not that fourth side. This is the perimeter. This is the final answer after adding up all four sides. What is the length of the missing side? This is what we are looking for here. So let's go ahead and first simplify and combine like terms from the other three sides. So here we have 3x to the fourth plus 4x to the fourth, which is now 7x to the fourth. Then notice here we do have an x cubed, but nothing to combine it with. So we're going to bring that in. So 4x cubed. I also noticed that we only have one x squared term here. So again, bringing that in here. Now we do have like terms of our x's. We have negative 6x plus 6x, which is actually 0. So 0 x's. So we can leave that alone. Then last we have negative 3 plus 6, which is 3. So this expression here represents what we have so far, right? We have our three sides. We do have the perimeter, right? We have 7x to the fourth, this polynomial here, that represents the perimeter. So if we're given the perimeter now, right, that where we take all four sides and add them up, here we have the sum of the three sides. What do we now have to do then to find the fourth and final side? Subtract. So notice how now we're not going to add them together, right? Because this is the perimeter. This is the answer. So we're working backwards to find that missing side here. So just like before, we need to now distribute the negative 1 here. And I'll go ahead and line up the like terms underneath. So here we'll line up horizontally or vertically. So now we're going to combine, so not positive, but now negative 7x to the fourth. Not positive 4x cubed, right, but negative 4x cubed. Positive 2x squared, and now negative 3. Now we can go through and combine like terms. We'll notice 7 minus 7, 0 cancels out. 9 minus 4, because this is our like terms here, 5x cubed. Then next, with our x squared, we have negative 6 plus 2, negative 4. So negative 4x squared. Then last, we only have constants. There's no x term. So 8 minus 3 gives you 5. So this is the missing side of the trapezoid. 5x cubed minus 4x squared plus 5. Now, how could we check our work? Well, if we add up all of the four sides here, right? If we add up all four sides, what are we supposed to get? The perimeter. So you can always go back to and check your work to make sure that you got the correct side here. So now go ahead and pause the video and try this last try here on your own. And here we go. So again, making sure to read, notice how the perimeter of the trapezoid is 8x plus 18. So this is our perimeter here. We are finding the missing side length or the missing length of the lower base. So here we are looking for our side length. So here, let's go ahead and combine like terms. So finding out what we have so far here. Here I've got 2x plus x plus 4x, which is now 7x. Then there's nothing else, so just bring in minus 3. Now we have the perimeter, which is 8x plus 18. So again, we're given the answer, right? We're working backwards. You're looking for the missing side. Make sure now to subtract, but also make sure to distribute the negative 1 here. So this is not positive 7x, but negative 7x. And this is not negative 3, but now positive 3. So here the missing side is x, 1x or x plus 21. Then again, what could you do to check your work? Add up all four sides and you should get 8x plus 18 as the final answer for the perimeter. So now there are a few extra questions here for practice. So go ahead and pause the video and try them, and then I will be going over the next 4 questions. And here we go. So what was the error that Danielle made? What I like doing sometimes is go ahead and do the work yourself side by side. So like, for example, here we are subtracting, which means she was supposed to distribute a -1 here. So when distributing -1, you end up with -5x squared plus 3x minus 2. So now you can already see that the first step was the error. What did she do? Well, she distributed the -1 to the -5x squared, but did not distribute the negative to any other term. She kept the same sign. So that was the error. So let's go ahead and complete this and correct it. So she should have combined 8x squared plus 2x minus 6 with, still again, the -5x squared, but now plus 3x minus 2. Now going through and combining like terms. 8x squared minus 5x squared is 3x squared. Then here you have 2x plus 3x, which is 5x. Then last you have -6 minus 2, which is -8. This is the final answer here. Then for the next one, you're given that this expression here is added to another polynomial to get the resulting sum, which is this. So the result, the answer. So think about this as if like this is the perimeter, right? This is where we're starting with. This is the answer. We're looking for the other polynomial. So that's why you needed to subtract. Starting with that answer, right? So 4x cubed plus 7x squared minus 3. We are subtracting to find the other unknown polynomial. So we're subtracting -3x cubed plus 2x minus 5. But then, of course, distribute the -1 here. So what you are combining with 4x cubed plus 7x squared minus 3 with is you're combining positive 3x squared minus 2x plus 5. Now start combining like terms. Now there's no x cubed, so bringing, oh, I just realized that's my fault. My finger slipped. That x cubed here. So here we've got 4x cubed plus 3x squared, which is now 3x cubed. 4x cubed is 7x cubed. Then continuing on, but notice how there is only one x squared term here. So bring that down. There's also only one x term here. So bring down -2x. But then combining the constants of -3 plus 5, which gives you 2. So this is the other polynomial that was added to this polynomial here to get the resulting sum of 4x cubed, our polynomial here. So now you were given this rectangular room here, and part A was which expression represents the perimeter. Well, here, 3x squared plus 6, there's nothing else like with it. However, notice how the 4x minus 1 is doubled because this is a rectangular room. So these two values are being doubled. So we are doubling 4x minus 1. We're leaving out the door, but notice how we have not one, but two x terms here. So you are also doubling the two x's. That is why you should have gotten D. Then here for part B is now actually getting the perimeter. So bringing down 3x squared plus 6, but now distributing 2 here, which is now 8x minus 2. Then bringing down 2x. Now we can start combining like terms. Only one x squared term, so bringing that down. We do have 8x plus 2x, which is 10x. Then last here, we have 6 minus 2, which is 4. So this polynomial is what you should have gotten for the perimeter. Now, this one was definitely the hardest, and I wanted to see if anybody could do this, because you're looking for the perimeter, which is you are here you are adding up the sides, like the 2x, x minus 2, the x plus 3, the 3x plus 2. But then you should have noticed, hold on, we are missing this side here and this side here as well. So how do we figure out what these are? Because we don't need this section here because we're just adding the parameter, the outside values, the outside. Well, this is when you should have started noticing. So here, let me go ahead and erase this. Notice how this side is 2x. This full side is x plus 3, which means these two sides that are parallel to it, right, add together to get you x plus 3. So 2x plus what gets you x plus 3, or work backwards, x plus 3 minus 2x. So notice how here you have x minus the 2x, which is negative x, then nothing else with your constant, so negative x plus 3. So this missing side here is negative x plus 3. So here you're taking the total and subtracting this side to figure out what would the other side be when you add them together. Because notice how 2x plus negative x is x. Then there's only the plus 3. There's your plus 3. So here, x minus 2 is the full width. I notice here we have 3x plus 2 plus what here would get you the total. So again, x minus 2 is the total, right? Your total width, minus 3x plus 2. Now notice here, you do need to distribute negative 1. So we are combining x minus 2 with negative 3x minus 2, because you're distributing the negative here. Now I've got x minus 3x, which is now negative 2x. Then combining here, negative 2 minus 2, which is negative 4. So this missing side here is negative 2x minus 4. So here now we have all of the sides to add up and find the perimeter. So now you just got to go through and combine like terms. After combining all of the x terms, you should get 4x. Then combining all of the constants together, you should get plus 2.